Do you want to stretch your faith, discover your purpose, and impact your community for eternity? Well, stay tuned to learn how you can be strengthened at the core. My name is Jason Bradley, and you're watching Urban Report. Hello and welcome to Urban Report. My guest today is Dee Casper, Director of Core Evangelism School. Welcome to Urban Report, Dee.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, it's great to have you here. You know, I want to talk about what Core is all about and all of those things, but prior to jumping into that, tell our viewers who Dee Casper is.
Oh my, I'm still trying to figure that one out. But I do evangelism. That's kind of my bird in my life. I grew up about 30 something minutes away from 3ABN for 21 years. Had never heard of a Seventh-day Adventist, and found the message on television out in Pittsburgh, Illinois, and started watching it. Changed my life. Became a Seventh-day Adventist, and have been committed to evangelism ever since. I was baptized in 2010, and have been doing evangelism ever since.
Wow. So what led to you falling in love with Christ, though? Because you're passionate about spreading the gospel.
Yeah. My conversion, I guess, my dad, when the 9/11 attacks happened, he recognized that the world was ending and he wasn't ready. And he started, pursuing a relationship with God, and eventually, a couple years later, labored for me. And what he had is what I knew I had been looking for my whole life. I wanted what he had, and I didn't care what it cost. And so that's kind of what started the journey. And then, a couple years later, we found the Adventist message. And once I heard, what this message can do, and saw Jesus at the center of it, it's been absolutely life transformative, and have, committed my life to helping others see the beauty of that message too.
Amen. And you go around preaching and teaching and all of that, right?
Yep. Yeah, I travel around and speak and stuff.
Now, I'm gonna throw this out there, Dee, and I tend to ask this to speakers, but how do you prepare your sermons?
Oh, well, usually sermons start as an idea. So something catches me, a text in the spirit of prophecy or in the Bible, or a point someone makes in a sermon. I realize that's going to be a message, and it kind of stays in my mind. And I start a note document on my phone, and eventually just kind of start adding content. As I think about it and pray through it, I just start adding verses or ideas or thoughts. And then from that kind of document that's not really linear or organized, I start building slides in Keynote and rearrange and shuffle until it's linear and makes sense, and have a call or appeal at the end of it. And then, we're good to go. So it's kind of a process. It starts as an idea, and then it kind of germinates and grows, and you keep adding layers and make sure that it's linear, that it makes sense, that it's pointing people to Jesus, and then kind of try to find a way to land the plane, to give a call to action for people to apply what they've learned or to make a decision based upon what they've learned.
Amen. And would you say that having a strong devotional life is crucial?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I would be nothing without that. I made a hard and fast decision by the grace of God, and only by the grace of God, that time with God was not an option. That was like 2008 or something. And it didn't matter what my schedule has been, when I'm flying out, when I'm leaving. Nothing's more important than ensuring I have that time with God. And I know for a fact I wouldn't be where I am or doing what I'm doing were it not for having that time. And many sermon ideas, even in ministry ideas and answers to difficult situations I go through in life, and when I'm seeking guidance from God, all come from that special, important time in the morning, for sure.
Amen. All right, now talk to us about CORE. How did it all begin, and how did you get involved with CORE?
Yeah, it's a great question. So basically, there were a few key players. There was a kind of a donor and a pastor that both had a burden to see a school of evangelism developed that had the message of Christ our righteousness at the heart of every single class and every single teaching. So seeing the character of God and the gospel in every aspect, and giving young adults, access to such a beautiful and precious message. So that was kind of the initial burden, and then they kind of reached out to me after some time and said, "Hey, would you be interested in helping us to develop this and are running it?" And I prayed, and God made it clear. Yeah, they eventually developed a partnership with the Pennsylvania Conference, which is where we are now, and they have been tremendous and excellent partners to us. They've been super supportive. Gary Gibbs is our conference president, and they've just been so supportive of our program and of me and our staff and our students, and we couldn't be happier. So we're actually located on the campus of Blue Mountain Academy. That's actually where we're located. And so we went through that process together to kind of find a good spot for it. It's been a great spot. It's beautiful. The Appalachian Trail's right across the street, and we're excited to be where we are, partnering with the conference and doing evangelism together. It's been wonderful. So this is our third school year. I got hired about 3.5 years ago.
Wow, that is awesome. We have a little promo video that I would love for our viewers to see because it kind of shows what CORE is all about, and I was excited when I watched it. So let's take a look at that right now.
It really has brought me to a closer relationship with him, and that was just through various things, whether it was in class or outreach and canvassing and Bible working. It's just really allowed me to, through all of those things, just truly see who God is.
Young people are wrestling with knowing what the future holds. Does God actually love and care for me? Where am I going? What does this life have to offer? I believe CORE offers solutions to all of these questions, that you can actually have an intimate, vibrant relationship with Jesus, that you can be fully known and fully loved by the God of the universe.
I can see now how Jesus sacrificed everything for us, how he can sympathize in every problem we have in life. It's something I never experienced before until I came to CORE.
It seems so impossible, but this God that we know already, he just gets more and more awesome.
He's worth knowing more than we thought he was. He's actually a caring and loving father, and just give him a chance.
Every aspect of my life has just completely changed it from where I was to where I am today, and I can even see the change in myself, and I can see the change in my friends, and I can just see the change in everybody. And it's a positive change, it's a good change, it's a change that God would be proud of.
And I have a friend in Jesus now, and that's just been the biggest thing that I can take away. A friend in Jesus.
You build off of each other and you fall down together and everybody picks you up together, and that's the one thing that I enjoy about CORE.
There's so much family and love here, and that there's adventures that we go on, there's laughter and there's tears and there's so much more compact into 9 months of CORE.
It's been really nice to just talk to each other and just really to grow together and just seeing each other grow, and also just to really encourage each other.
To me, it's a real blueprint school where you get to learn, you get to work hard, and you get to grow.
If you're already considering it, if you want some training, some hands-on training where you can, take a break from the world, take a break from, the clutter of social media and work and school and just the chaoticness of life. Come here and learn how to bring people to Christ, how to soul win. And you won't regret it. You won't regret it. It's the most beautiful thing when someone gives their life to Christ because of you.
It's an incredible course. It's only 9 months out of the year. And if you come here, you will have a once-in-a-lifetime experience being surrounded by individuals who share the similarity with you of loving God and wanting to know Him more.
Wow, I love that. That's a powerful video, to see lives being transformed and people that want to impact their world for eternity. That's powerful. Who should attend CORE?
Yeah, so the program is largely designed for the 18 to kind of 35-ish age range, kind of young adults, young professionals age. So for our full-length core program, that's who it's designed for. But we also have a Track 2 program, which is the second semester of core that's available to 21 and over. So people who are even of an older demographic can also attend that part of our program. So it's more accustomed, or more like, AFCO or Arise, where kind of any age demographic can come post-high school. We open it up for our second semester with our Track 2.
Mm-hmm. And what are some stories that you can share, maybe some lives that have been transformed?
Sure. One of the first ones I can think of is actually somebody who's a family member and a local there for 3AB, and Hannah Peak. She came to our program as a media intern, helping us to film our classes and to kind of help us to get everything together to develop core online so we can offer online classes for people who can't be here in person. And, Hannah's role was, some people may say just the intern, but she was so much more than that. She was such a blessing to us in many ways, but she did an excellent job in her filming and in her editing, but she was just taking in all the information like a sponge, and it was radically changing her life. She was experiencing deep and powerful revival, and was really finding clear and substantive answers to questions she was having regarding her faith and her view of God. And as we were doing the evangelistic series, as I was preaching the meetings, we did them in two different locations. So I preached one set of meetings, and the Bible work of the local church preached the other meetings. For the baptism portion of the evangelistic series, the sermon on baptism, we were writing back together, and she talked to me and just said, hey, this is something I'm thinking about. And she made a decision. She wanted to be rebaptized. This program had really changed her life, and she wanted to make a full recommitment through baptism, and we did it towards the end of our program. So it was actually, we did the evangelistic series for her. And it was just a real touching blessing to have that someone who came to kind of work for us in an intern role and to help us ended up being tremendously helped herself. And that was just so cool and so wonderful to see that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What can people expect when they attend CORE? Like, what are some of the modules? What do you cover? And what type of experience do they get?
Yeah, it's a great question. So it's a 9-month discipleship and evangelism training program. So they come in mid-August. We have some orientation week and then some classes, and then they do a 3-week canvassing blitz. They get a little bit of training, and they're out doing literature evangelism work for 3 straight weeks to kind of nail down their fundamentals and kind of grow their gifts in that regard. And then they'll canvass part-time 3 afternoons a week after that for the rest of the semester. We have about 12 hours of Bible class a week, 3 hours a day, about an hour of class, a 15-minute break, hour of class, another 15-minute break, and then 1 more hour of class. They have Fridays off completely. We just have Vespers in the evening. Sabbaths, we're at a local church, investing in their congregation and serving in different roles, teaching Sabbath school, doing song service, offering appeals, sometimes preaching the sermons. And then afternoons on Sabbath are pretty free. And then they have Vespers Saturday night. And they do outreach Sunday, Monday, Wednesday afternoons. And Tuesdays and Thursdays, they're doing practical work on campus for the academy. That kind of helps to, work with some of their tuition. So that's kind of the big picture of what we do. So the fall semester, the outreach portion is canvassing. In the spring semester, the outreach segment is in Bible work. So they're knocking on doors, giving personal Bible studies in people's homes, connecting with church members and handing these leads to church members once they leave. We do a full-length evangelistic series in April towards the end of the year, so that the people that they're laboring for and investing in can be invited to a reaping meeting. And our students do all the support work for that, song service, childcare, health nuggets, stuff like that. And usually I'll preach the meetings or someone of our staff. And then we have graduation towards the end. In between the 2 semesters, we have a 2-week mission trip. So we try to get them engaged in cross-cultural witnessing in some form or fashion. The first year we went to Cuba. It was an amazing, beautiful experience. The last 2 years, we've been investing in refugees in the Houston, Texas area, partnering with a ministry called Reach the World Next Door. And that's been life-changing too. You heard about the Afghanistan crisis and what how much how chaotic that was, how difficult that was for people. We've met them. We've been in their homes, in their apartments. We've given them furniture, diapers, prayed with them, played with their children, given them food and clothes. It's just an amazing experience. And so trying to give them a well-rounded, balanced experience. There's health classes, prophecy, fundamental beliefs, Three Angels messages. We deal extensively with mental health, helping the students find healing in their own journey and how to be able to tactfully and biblically address mental health issues. So we have a big emphasis on that in our program as well.
Wow. So you guys cover a lot. A whole lot. So with the canvassing, so people go door to door and they try and sell them spiritual material?
Yeah, so they call it canvassing, where you're basically giving out literature on a donation basis, and it's different message books. So there's cookbooks, there's health books, there's Greek Controversy, Desire of Ages, Christ's Object Lessons, Steps to Christ, books that we're familiar with and love dearly, and other books too, children's books, and things along that nature. So that's what they do in the fall semester. Half of what they make in canvassing goes directly towards their tuition as well, which is another blessing to help to make it more affordable. Yeah.
And there's an agriculture component to this too, correct?
That's correct. Yes. Actually, John Dysinger from the Bountiful Blessings Farm in Tennessee and one of the founders of Ad Agra, he teaches for us for a full week on that. And then Blue Mountain Academy actually has a certified organic farm on their property.
Wow.
So our students in their practical work segment, they can work on the farm if they like and learn how to put their hands in the soil and be part of that process too.
Wow, that is huge. What are some challenges that you face heading all of this up? What are some challenges you face?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is that I'm only one person. If I had about three of me, we'd be killing it right now. But so I'm just kidding. No, we've got great support staff that have been such a blessing. We've just picked up an administrator as well. So I think probably our biggest challenges are kind of growing awareness of the fact that this program exists and is an option for people when they finish high school or as young professionals, and even for adults who'd like to take the Track 2 portion and get Bible work experience to go home and help their local church. And bringing more people on board to support us financially to kind of help us to expand our operations, because we have ambitions and ideas that we'd like to grow. So I'd say challenge-wise, those are the two biggest things. Our curriculum has gone very well. We feel good about that. We're always making tweaks and adjustments to how the program's structured. But I'd say as far as the two biggest objectives, increasing awareness of what we're doing and growing our student base, and finding more people to partner with us to ensure that we can do even more. The nice thing about our program is that this is not just an evangelism training school. This is a retention program. This is keeping young people in the church and equipping for ministry. And so, if people are passionate about seeing young people stay in the church and seeing young people active in ministry, this is a huge opportunity to do something about that. That even if you can't attend, you can tell people that it's an option for them to attend, and you can support others in coming for sure.
That's beautiful. What would you say to that individual that's out there like, well, I'm not a preacher, I'm not a teacher. What words would you share with that individual?
Yeah, that was me 11 years ago. Like, I'm an introvert, had no desire to be in front of people. John Lomaking pulled me up in front of the church and said, this young man's going to be an evangelist. And I thought, I won't call him an old man, but this man's crazy. He's out of his mind. I'm not going to do that. And this is what I do for a living now. And I went to a mission training school, the Arise program run by David Asherick, and I would not be in ministry today had I not gone to a program like that gave me the tools and the skills that I needed, and that there were people that I respected who believed in me, who spoke life into me. John Lomaking believed in me, my dad believed in me, and then people who were training and teaching in our program, they saw something in me that I didn't. And by them kind of putting me out in the field and giving me experience, what happened was, as I went out and was doing, Bible studies and preaching at the Arise program, I realized that every time I put myself out there for God, He showed up. And I began to be deeply convicted of the reality that God had called me to ministry because of how I saw him using me. And so I think all of us are called to engage in some form of ministry, even if it's in our workplace or in our home with our children, and to take a year of your life, 9 months of your life, to grow that relationship with Jesus, to build a solid foundation, to know why you believe what you believe and how to intelligently share that with someone else is invaluable. So whether you feel a call to full-time pastoral work or Bible work or something else, this program is designed to bless you and to help you discover what your calling is, grow your spiritual gifts, and to give you significant field experience in using your gifts in ministry so that when you go home to your local church, you know how to apply what you've been learning. And so your local church will be better off because of it too. And we spend 9 months in a single congregation learning how to invest in it and, share our talents and contributions. So, it's going to make you a better Adventist, a better active church member, and a better witness in the workplace and in the home.
Amen. Amen. We're living in the digital age, right? Technology is just readily available and has just been enhanced over and over again. How do you teach digital evangelism?
Yeah, so we've got a handful of teachers who come in and teach for us. We give our students an opportunity to meet with Adventist influencers. So like Dean Cullinane in his podcast, the Why They Did That podcast. He talks with our students and tells them how the story started, what their vision was, what worked, what didn't, how they can do the same. Clive Coutet and Adam Ramden of Lineage Journey also interact with our students and do the same thing. How the journey started, no pun intended, but how they started the ministry, what God has done, how it worked. Jasper Ivan Aturiega, who's an Adventist influencer, and started a jungle school crowdfunding on Instagram in the Philippines. Wow. Just amazing stories of how people have used digital media to change the world. You get to meet them. They're Adventists. You can ask them questions. And then we have Chris Matz. He teaches for us on the topic of digital marketing and how to market the Adventist message, how to use Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, how to create posts that'll be eye-catching, and how to write copy in an intelligent way. And so we also, our students get access to, Chris Matz has put together a training course. Our students get access to that too, that they can go through on their own, of learning how to do marketing in the digital realm and how to create content that's compelling. So we try to get them in contact with people who are making a difference so that they can, also make a difference in their own personal ministries and their personal usage of social media.
That's awesome. I love that, because you're really covering every avenue, because there are people out there that, while technology is readily available, while, the internet and everything is so easily accessible, there are people out there that would rather send snail mail, as we call it, or that would rather not use the computer or the cell phones or whatever the case may be. But that's where that going door to door comes in. That's where that literature comes in. So you're covering every base, and I think that is absolutely wonderful. How can people get involved, and what are some of the needs of CORE?
Sure. I was going to mention one more thing, and I'll answer your questions there. We have some of the best minds in the Adventist Church that teach for us, too. So Nathan Renner's teaching for us this week. David Ashrick teaches for us. Mark Finley and Chris Holland. Rico Hill, who's done programs, obviously, for Data Dream Network. And Lance Wilbur, who also has done some programming for 3ABN with Dwayne Lemon. Lance teaches for us. And Chad and Fadia Cruiser and many others, and that's all on our website. So James Rafferty from 3ABN, he teaches for us. He's going to be here in 2 weeks. So they also get a great opportunity to meet with and learn from some of the best minds in the Adventist Church, which is also wonderful. So as far as your second question was, what are the needs? What was the question just before that one?
How do people get involved?
Yeah, so people can go to our website, coreevangelism.com is where you can get access to our application. Our promo videos are there. There's a listing of who teaches, our handbook. You can find out what our policies are and how all of that works.
Nice.
That's where you can kind of best connect with us. We're also on social media, so we're on Instagram and Facebook right now primarily, so you can kind of follow us. You get to see stories of what's happening in the students' lives and how you can get involved. And we've got a newsletter that we're starting. So if you just message us on social media and say, hey, I'd like your newsletter, or if you email us on the email you'll see here in a few minutes, then you'll be able to get access to our newsletter, and you can stay up to date that way. So those are the easiest ways to connect with us. Our biggest needs right now are more students, people to come and join us and take part in that experience. Whether you're in 18 to 35-ish age range, you can come through the full-length program. If you're a little more mature adult and would like to just kind of get Bible worker training and most of our theology classes and get 5 months of Bible work experience, then you can do track 2. And both programs, the information for that is on our website, so you can find that there. So the biggest needs is for more people to know about it, to share stuff that you see on social media and our promo videos, and invite people, let your church know, and then you can attend. And then to support us financially, more people can take part in that. We're in a unique scenario. It's a great partnership that we're partnering with the conference, but we're privately funded, so more people can join us in doing more work in that regard and reaching more souls. Because the beautiful thing is this isn't just reviving young people in the church who come to our program as attendees, but it's also reviving churches that we partner with. So evangelistically, it's also working, which is really exciting. So to partner with, souls being won, young people staying in the church and being trained and equipped to do a work for God is certainly something worth engaging in and worth supporting. And we certainly could love to have an army of givers in that regard as well.
Amen. Well, I'd like to put your contact information up if somebody wants to send you some mail, or if they want to call you, visit the website, all of that. We're going to put up that address page there, and if you would read that to us.
Absolutely, no problem. So our address is 2363 Mountain Road, and that is in Hamburg, Pennsylvania, 19526. That's the address that you can mail stuff to. Our phone number is 484-232-9239. And again, our website is Core Evangelism. So there's 2 E's there, CORE, evangelism.com. And you can email us at info@coreevangelism.com for any further questions, anything else you'd like to know. You can reach us there.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. I hope that there will be a lot of people that will get involved with what you're doing, because you're doing a wonderful work for the Lord and growing the kingdom. Anytime you have the opportunity to train and to sharpen your skills and to strengthen that relationship with Christ, it's one that should be taken. For sure. Dee, I can't believe our time is dwindling down, but what's on your heart that you would like to share with our viewers and listeners?
Sure. We also have developed a partnership with Weimar University so that people can get college credit to go towards further education at Weimar, and we're working on trying to partner with other universities. So even young people don't have to make a full stop to their educational pursuits. We're working on building more partnerships in that regard. So that's a great opportunity, and also a chance for people to invest, in their own personal growth. This is a great place to do that, to find out why you believe what you believe, how to share it with someone else, and how to make a difference for the kingdom. So that's what we offer, and we'd be happy to partner with more people. So if that happens to be you, if God is speaking to you about taking time to grow your relationship with Him, this is a great opportunity to do that by coming to Core, young or old alike.
Amen, amen. And you welcome international students and all of that, correct?
Yes, we're working on a process to be able to make that track 2 for sure, and for the full length we're working on that. And then Core Online is another option that we'll have that available hopefully by summer of 2022 so that people can attend our classes online.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing, Dee, and for dedicating your life to serving Christ. We want to thank you for joining us. Until next time, may God bless you.